say, could be in Chicago within a matter of weeks, and we end up with a global pandemic. Pan meaning the whole world becomes sick all at once.
And Dr. Newman, you're also an epidemiologist. I presume the prospect of a viral pandemic keeps you up at night as well?
No.
No?
No.
All right, well, that's our show.
No, mankind has been at war with the virus from the start. Sometimes millions of people die, as in an actual war, but in the end, we always win.
But you, just to be clear, you do think microorganisms pose a threat?
Oh, in the most dire terms.
Bacteria?
No.
You like saying no?
Yes.
Not bacteria, not viruses, so...
Fungus. Yes, that's the usual response. Fungi seem harmless enough. Many species know otherwise, because there are some fungi who seek not to kill, but to control. Let me ask you, where do we get LSD from?
Where do you get it from?
It comes from ergot, a fungus. Psilocybin, also a fungus. Viruses can make us ill, but fungi can alter our very minds. There's a fungus that infects insects, gets inside an ant, for example, travels through its circulatory system to the ant's brain, and then floods it with hallucinogens, thus bending the ant's mind to its will. The fungus starts to direct the ant's behavior, telling it where to go, what to do, like a puppeteer with a marionette. And it gets worse. The fungus needs food to live, so it begins to devour its host from within, replacing the ant's flesh with its own. But it doesn't let its victim die, no. It keeps its puppet alive by preventing decomposition. How? Where do we get penicillin from?
Fungus. Dr. Schoenheiss, you're in distress.
Fungal infection of this kind is real, but not in humans.
True, fungi cannot survive if its host's internal temperature is over 94 degrees. And currently, there are no reasons for fungi to evolve to be able to withstand higher temperatures. But what if that were to change? What if, for instance, the world were to get slightly warmer? Well, now, there is reason to evolve. One gene mutates, and an Ascomycetia, Candida, ergot, Cordyceps, Aspergillus, any one of them could become capable of burrowing into our brains and taking control, not of millions of us, but billions of us. Billions of puppets with poisoned minds, permanently fixed on one unifying goal: to spread the infection to every last human alive by any means necessary. And there are no treatments for this, no preventatives, no cures. They don't exist. It's not even possible to make them.
So if that happens...
we lose.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Episode 167. We're going to talk today. We're going to talk about something uncomfortable, but you know me, I love talking about uncomfortable shit. All right? But before I get started, like I always say, if you would like to support this podcast, please smack one of those links in the description. That will help me out gravely, because it just is what it is. So how's everybody doing? Oh, I want to tell you about this little experience before I get to this. I just want to make sure I got her information. I went to I had this very nice massage, probably the best massage I ever had, but I actually got the, what's that called? Coupling therapy? Is that what it is? Coupling therapy? All right, coupling therapy. Let's see. I'm going to try to find her. Okay. So coupling therapy, right? It's listen, let me tell y'all something. It was a dope experience. The massage was good. You know, we was talking about, different things, and it was just like a podcast, but I just didn't record it, and I was getting massaged at the same time. And it's a very dope massage, and she's here in Atlanta. So if you ever in the Atlanta area, actually, I'm gonna give you her Instagram. It's Blooming Beauty Spa, and the number 1. Okay, the number 1. Yeah, check her out, man. She do good work. I just wanted to give her a shout out because that was a dope situation. Even though I think it was probably like a week or so ago, and all the marks are gone. The little circles that you get on your back, they all gone. I mean, it's good for circulation. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you can probably break down. But yeah, I want to give her a shout out because that was dope. That was dope. Okay, let's get back to the show, everybody. Let's get back to the show. So, in today's podcast, I would like to talk about, excuse me, I would like to talk about the human body. The human body it's a beautiful thing. And also, it could get bad for you also, right? So, our body is ran by bacteria. It's probably more bacteria in our stomach than, people on this planet, right? Including dogs and every other pets that people have. And those bacteria in your stomach, they control your mood. They control basically everything that you go through, whether you feel sick, whether you feel bad. And we all know if the body has more bad bacteria, you will get sick and you'll probably die. So you want to sort of keep a nice gang of good bacteria to sort of like smooth that out. But, we got things that's in our body that's basically killing a lot of people. And I know a lot of people that died because of this situation, and it's called cancer. Cancer is basically, a lot of people categorize it as something to do with mucus or whatever, but it's basically, a growth of cells. Sort of like, I'll put it like this. If you got a lot of people in a room, right? Like just say you had a basketball game or something, and there's a stampede. Okay. Now all of a sudden there's just a group of people sort of being pushed together, and eventually, as people lose their breath and people suffocate, they die, right? And as more people sort of like push into this small little area, the same thing happened, and it just kills each person as it goes out. People in the middle sort of, can't breathe and they pass away. That's something similar to cancer, as the cells just sort of bubble up all together and then it starts to kill cells. Another thing is your common cold, which I just got over. Common cold is basically your body is trying to get rid of the virus that's inside of you. That's why your nose run. That's why you sneeze. The sneezing is to get everything out your nostrils. The coughing is to clear your lungs. The body has ridden itself of these germs that's constantly invading us, okay? Every day, every night, every minute, every hour, they're invading us. Now, we have a lot of parasites to worry about. Regular parasites that can affect your body. You have some bad pork, and you over there shitting out worms, or tapeworms or whatever. And I don't know if y'all ever seen the show. It's called Monsters Inside of Me. Monsters Inside of Me. If y'all can find that, it's still on YouTube. It was about people having worms in their eyes. Like they'd just go be brushing their teeth, and then their eyes start twitching, and then they sort of zoom in into the eye, and all of a sudden they see something pass the pupil. Come on, man. You talk about passing out. You talk about getting the knife and taking out my own eye. Can you imagine that? I think this one lady had something sort of poke right out the eyelid, in between the eye and the eyelid, and just go back in. Fuck out of here. But anyway, it's a lot of things that's constantly attacking us, laying eggs in us. And what is that? The flesh-eating bacteria, right? I think it was a story that a lady, she tried to clean her nostrils out. I don't know how some people just run water through their nostrils to get all the mucus out or whatever. But she did it apparently with tap water, which is not a good idea. And she did it with tap water, and somehow, the bacteria, the parasites that was inside of the water got to her brain and ate her brain, and she died within weeks. And it's real quick. It's real quick. So we are constantly bombarded by shit trying to kill us. Nature is beautiful, but nature will kill you. Okay? You can see it on, Nature TV, how you get another animal chasing a gazelle or something that's pregnant, and they rip the baby right out the mother's stomach. Then rip the baby apart. Nature doesn't give two F's about you. I'm trying to be clean, so I'm not going to use the F word, okay? The F bomb. But anyway, But there's a few things that I wanted to talk about today. And that long clip at the beginning is with the show that I watched. And I actually did a podcast on fungus. It's down the dial, a couple, probably 10, 20 shows down the dial. And it was basically how fungus is way smarter than us. Fungus, the crazy thing is LSD is a form of fungus mushrooms, right? What's the thing that I want to do? Psilocybin, DMT, that's all forms of some kind of mushroom. So when you think about it, when you smoke this stuff, it takes you to another realm, right? And I'm gonna throw you a little section of that, show that I actually did. And basically like this. What if life, right? It's just everything we see, all these lights and all of this, left angle turns. You got your TV, you got everything that makes a left turn, right? What is it, 90-degree angle? And different colors that nature doesn't make, right? Just say we on this planet is really not here. We are basically in some form of a psilocybin or a mushroom trip, and that's life. But if anything flies by this planet, there is no lights, there's no buildings, there's no cars. It's just all inside of the mushroom or the fungus that controls everything. But anyway, go check that podcast out. I'm not going to go down that, road again. You can check it out, and I think you'll like it. So I want to go over a few. I got a few things that I got offline, and it scares the shit out of me. I only got a few, but it scares the shit out of me. Okay, so basically, you have something that's called zombified cockroaches. So it happens when a female jewel wasp is ready to, I guess, give birth or spit out babies or whatever. She finds a cockroach, right? And what she do is she stings the cockroach to sort of like paralyze his front legs, right? This is a wasp that we see every day. That's probably got beautiful colors and nice wings, and it probably scared the shit out of you. But this is a wasp that just flies past us, thank God, right? So it does all of this. So the scientists say that this particular wasp, it stings the roach head, and it controls the brain, part of the area that has, that initiates the movements. Okay, so basically it strips the roach from its own free will, right? So what it do it grabs the antenna of the roach and controls it. It makes the roach walk. It grabs the freaking antenna and controls the roach. Are you serious? So after that, it lays its baby, it lays its larva inside of this big behind cockroach, right? And it sort of entombs it into a little hole. So at this point in time, the larva starts to eat the inside of the roach. Just eats and eats and eats, and it grows, and it just hollowing this poor roach out. And then just like any kind of zombie or alien film, boom, the larva busts out the roach and continues the cycle. Now, where do we see that at? We seen that on the Alien franchise, right? It's crazy how similar that is. So let's just say that this particular wasp, somehow it was able to, I'm about to go deep in my crazy mind right now. Somehow it evolved to the nutrients of the eye. Okay? So as you sleep, right, you get your typical so-called mosquito bite. It's right here on the side of your eyelid, right? that was the wasp spitting in some kind of venom to control your eye. Okay? So it wants to control your eye to keep the light from going in the pupil. So it makes the eye sort of swollen and blocks the pupil. Then, in the same function, it comes back probably within a minute or so. I don't know, I'm making this shit up. Then it stings the pupil or the eye on the other side, and it spits in the lava. And this whole time, the lava is incubating inside of your eye. Right? And all of a sudden, this whole area is so sore, so you won't, or let's say not sore, everything goes back to normal. So that bump goes away, this bump goes away, and you're just going by life. And then all of a sudden, one night, you have this crazy pain, and then right pop out of your pupil, the lava has hatched, hollowing out your eye. But you didn't know it because it was spitting some kind of venom that didn't, show pain. I'm just throwing all this bullshit that's in nature, and I'm throwing it our way. Okay? Now, that's some scary shit. Okay. Now, there's something also that's called mind-controlling slime balls. So it's a form of flatworm. It resides in the livers of mammals, such as cows. The eggs are secreted through the feces, right? So the eggs hatch, and then the snails eat the eggs, and then somehow they put some kind of mucus ball around it, right? And then it turns into cysts, and then the parasite makes the eggs, snails cough up this mucus ball, right? So once they cough up the mucus ball, the ants get to it. It gets inside of the ants, and it controls the ant's brain. It causes the insects, ants or spiders, whatever eats it, to go to the tip of a blade of grass. Now, this ant don't know. It's just sitting there like a fucking zombie right at the top of the blade of grass, waiting for any grazing animal that's grazing on grass,